Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all having a great day and that you're all doing well. There was something that took place recently. I cannot say that I am exactly surprised. However, without further ado, let's jump right into it. Recently, there was the world's first Ethereum super meetup. It was hosted at Token 2049. Vitalik Buterin was there, obviously, as it was an Ethereum super meetup. Around 1,500 people were there to listen to Vitalik Buterin and what exactly he had to say about the future of Ethereum. It got a little weird because everyone started asking the normal question, hey, what's going on with Ethereum? How are things going with Ethereum? Can you tell us about any part of the upgrades for Ethereum that you've been talking about? It says, for those who missed the memo, since Ethereum launched in mid-2015, its core developers have had lofty ambitions. Buterin & Co.'s plans have changed over the years, but alternative consensus mechanisms such as proof of stake and scaling solutions such as the fabled plasma and sharding protocols have long been floated. The developers' goals are to integrate all these improvements in an upgrade known as 2.0, otherwise known as Serenity. But the blockchain's path to activating staking over its incumbent mining solution, a move claimed to reduce Ethereum's energy requirements, improve decentralization and bolster transactional throughput, hasn't been exactly clear. The hope was that by Q3 or Q4 of last year, proof of stake would have some semblance of integration onto the main chain. As the cryptocurrency community knows now, that hasn't come to fruition at all. In fact, the project's timeline has seemingly been pushed by upwards of 6 months to a year. To give you a little bit of information for those who may be relatively new, who may not be up to date on exactly what is happening with Ethereum. When Ethereum first came out, 2015, give or take, by the end, mid-2016, somewhere around about a year later, proof of stake was already a thing. There were other cryptocurrency projects that were using proof of stake. They were horrible. Didn't really work out. I tried some of the other proof of stake coins. They didn't actually have much function. You had to constantly upgrade because there were always these problems in the software, the protocol, whatever you kind of want to call it. So the people from Ethereum, mainly Joseph Lubin and Vitalik Buterin, came forward and said, we are going to implement proof of stake on top of Ethereum because it is the best way that we know right now in order to be able to mine cryptocurrencies. Part of the problem is that no one, at least to date, has been able to master proof of stake, because we know with proof of work, you kind of have to plug in the computers. They do the mathematical calculations, and this is how you get a very robust and strong network, because you need to smash and destroy or unplug every single one of these computers around the world in order to weaken the network. So they said, we're going to implement proof of stake, and this is actually what I think was probably one of their largest mistakes in the entire Ethereum project. I think if they had never mentioned that they were going to move over to proof of stake, I think it would have never been a problem. Part of the issue is the idea was, when you implement proof of stake, as opposed to having tons and thousands of computers with proof of work, proof of stake pretty much means you have to show your stake or stake your claim in the network by saying, I have 3,000 Ethereum. I'm going to put them onto the network, and therefore they will be kind of frozen, if you will, and this will create new Ethereum. Ethereum had a run up in price in 2017 because people thought that proof of stake was going to happen relatively soon, and therefore the more Ethereum that they bought, the more Ethereum that they would be able to create, and therefore he who holds the most Ethereum will become the richest as proof of stake ends up coming out. Part of the problem is it's been a while and we still don't have proof of stake. It looks like we're not going to have proof of stake for a while. Plasma was also something. I feel like part of, first of all, I like Ethereum. I hold Ethereum. However, that does not stop the fact that the project has a lot of faults. And I think that a lot of the faults come from the fact that the project's creators, in my opinion, thought that they could do a lot more than they actually could, if that makes a bit of sense. There was a huge amount of euphoria when Ethereum first came out. It was touted as a scam, as most new coins are. By mid-2016, it was seen as the potential new Bitcoin. A lot of people were betting on the fact that Ethereum could overtake Bitcoin. It could dethrone Bitcoin. It was no longer a Bitcoin Litecoin game. It was now a Bitcoin Ethereum game. The people from Ethereum came forward with constantly talking about colored coins, proof of stake, plasma, sharding, all of these new things, that because everyone started realizing that Bitcoin could only do 5 to 7 transactions per second. XRP at this point was touting around, I think, 5 or 6,000. It was saying, yeah, we're the new cool kid on the block. But Ethereum kind of took the spotlight and said, you know what, that's great, that's wonderful. We have a way to create new coins without even needing thousands of computers. We have a way to scale our network from the, 10 to 12 transactions per second to over 1 million. We know how to do this. It's super easy. It's super awesome. And we're going to have it relatively soon. 2016 came and went. Everyone said, okay, give them some time. 2017 came, and at the end of 2017, they were talking about the implementation of sharding. It was plasma and proof of stake. By the end of 2017, markets went up, everything came down. Everyone said, okay, the market's going down, give them some time. They said at the beginning of 2018, okay, you know what? It's all going to happen by quarter 3, quarter 4. That is January, February, March, April, May. By the end of June, anywhere from June to December 2018, we're going to have it. It's going to happen. It's going to be great. It's going to be wonderful. It never happened. Part of the issue is, at least in my opinion, they got so overly ambitious that they made Ethereum this new wonder child, if you can kind of say it that way. It became this new cryptocurrency, not a monstrosity, like a giant, a monolith, if you kind of want to say that. Everyone thought, I don't know if you were here around that time, everyone thought that Ethereum was going to overtake Bitcoin. It was going to be completely easy. If Bitcoin wasn't going to scale properly, Ethereum was the one to do it. You know, we have plasma and sharding coming up relatively soon. Ethereum's going to have 1 million transactions per second. Why isn't anyone using the Lightning Network on Bitcoin? It was this whole thing over and over and over, and it became this really weird us versus them. Part of the problem is that Vitalik Buterin kept on hyping up, in his own right, saying that things were going to happen. To be fair, and it's not even like it's just the people from Ethereum who are working on the proof of stake, the plasma, and Casper, and sharding, and all these other things that we still don't have. It's multiple companies, Omise Go, a whole bunch of other ones. Like there's at least 15 names who are all trying to work on different type of scaling solutions for Ethereum. Part of the problem is that we still don't have them. It's been about a good 3 years now, and it's causing people to become, I don't like the term bearish in this situation, because at some point Ethereum will have these upgrades. They will be implemented, but they're not going to happen for quite a bit of time. And I feel like from the get-go, if Ethereum had never touted themselves as the next Bitcoin, or had never mentioned all of these things, I feel like Ethereum would be probably not as expensive as it is right now, but it would definitely still be a top 10 coin. But they've ruined a lot of what they had. When you claim that you can do 1 million transactions per second, and 3 years later you still can't do it, and you are nowhere near being able to implement this, that is a problem. Here's the actual Ethereum Super Meetup 2019 is the photo. So people are asking him questions, so and so and so. Here's where it gets kind of interesting. As it stands, Ethereum has yet to enter phase 0. There are a total of 3 phases, 0, 1, and 2 of the Serenity integration. That's pretty much all that stuff that we were just talking about. But Buterin explains that this is coming. He remarks that phase 0 is near finalization spec-wise, touching on the effectively complete section of a white paper that outlines 2.0. Buterin explains that phase 0 related testnets, which are centered primarily around staking, could get launched by development firms, which he calls implementers like Parity and others in the near future. In terms of sharding, meant to arrive in phase 1 and phase 2, Buterin explains that developers have begun early stage implementations of that, with there being some staking protocols becoming standardized in the testing ecosystem. He goes on to draw attention to Ethereum 1x, which can be described as an intermediate series of protocols between 1.0 and Serenity 1x. As Buterin states, it is focusing on providing short-term scaling solutions through the implementation of prototypes of Serenity's implementation, also bolstered on the virtual machine. Where's the other really important part? What's important to note here after all of this? It says somewhere in the actual thing, I can't find it at the exact moment. He says that the implementations of this for phase 0, as we know it right now, may take anywhere from 6 to 12 months. Keeping in mind that there are 3 phases, it's 0, 1, and 2. I have a very strong feeling Ethereum is not going to have Plasma, Casper, sharding, or proof of stake until maybe 2021, maybe 2022. That's a very big problem as far as Ethereum standing in the market. this leads the way, and this is where I hope other cryptocurrency projects are paying attention. If there was ever a time for EOS or Cardano or Tron to really step it up, work on their partnerships and kind of bring the money into the, into their systems and kind of overlap Ethereum, now is kind of the time to do so. Like I said, Ethereum is one of my favorite projects. I think I've been with Ethereum since it was worthless. I was there when it first launched. However, times they have changed, and there are many other coins out there right now. We know that for a fact. We've had tests done last summer when these coins were launched and everyone was super hyped about it. That Tron and Cardano and EOS can do anywhere from 5 to 10,000 transactions per second without even really trying, and that's not without any other extra layered solutions. And I don't know. It's just a very weird situation. Oh yeah, for those, this is to explain this photo right here. At the beginning of the article, it says that apparently Justin's son was like standing all the way in the back with a man-shaped avocado. I didn't get it as I was reading it the first time, and then lo and behold, there were people dressed up as avocados, and apparently Justin's son was standing in the back while Vitalik Buterin was talking next to a giant human-shaped sized avocado. It's just a very weird thing. I feel like Ethereum could still be I think Ethereum will always be a major coin. I think they got too far ahead of themselves by announcing all of these other things. Like, we still don't have ZK snarks. We still don't have all these privacy layers on top of Ethereum, which he also said is also coming. He also said it's somewhere around here. He says that everything is coming, but the problem is that he said the same exact thing in 2017. We will eventually, I mean, at some point, whether it be now, 2 years from now, 15 years from now, these things will be implemented and perfected, possibly, on Ethereum, on all the other layered solutions and all the other coins that need to be quicker, faster, stronger, better. However, it's not going to happen anytime soon on Ethereum. It's a bit of a shame. And I wonder exactly how this is, and I'm wait a good, let's say about 6-7 months. Somewhere around there, to see if we can start seeing the first, not crumblings of Ethereum for those who were here in 2017. Part of the really exciting news, I mean, as exciting as we could have been before the world became the way that it was, is that before we realized that a whole bunch of countries were creating their own cryptocurrencies, a lot of them had announced that they were going to be writing their laws on top of Ethereum, that they had joined the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance in some sort of way. Like, we don't have government names on the actual alliance, but we know that they're there. And they all announced that they were going to do this with Ethereum. Ethereum would do this. We plan on implementing Ethereum. There were even meetings between Vitalik Buterin and Vladimir Putin. And there was also a video somewhere on YouTube, I'm sure you can find it, of Vitalik Buterin being like taken through certain cities in Russia, and they were showing him their computers and how so-and-so, like, Ethereum was meant to be this major thing that was going to be used and implemented by governments around the world. And as of now, as we know, everything is going to happen soon. And like I said, it's a bit of a shame that it's, I mean, I'm not a coder, so I can't really knock them. Like this isn't me like shaking my head and going, oh, they should have done better. Like, I understand that this is all brand new territory. Like, I understand that you can't perfect something that no one else has ever done before. You have to kind of take your time and, work up to it. But I am assuming that as people get wind of exactly what is happening with Ethereum, this is what I mean. I'm all for competition, especially in the cryptocurrency space. If your coin is better, faster, and has more people on your platform, like a lot of people have been leaving Ethereum and have been moving to Tron and to EOS, then that means these coins, logically, are stronger, better, and faster, and they should be holding Ethereum spot. Alrighty, let's move on. We were talking about Mexico yesterday. We were talking about Mexico, Russia, India, I think Israel, as far as like laws that are happening around the cryptocurrency space. Lo and behold, the people from Ripple were actually in Mexico to talk about crypto regulation and innovations. I don't think that was random. They're all the countries that we've seen, and this is I guess we'll see the full force of this by the end of summer. All the countries who are supposed to give us crypto regulations, who have given us crypto, or rather their country, men and women, crypto regulations, we've seen a lot of countries act really harsh or very like standoffish when it comes to cryptocurrencies. And these are all the countries that the Ripple team has met with, has spoken with, maybe even has partnerships. Allegedly, no one knows. This is why I keep saying I wouldn't be surprised if most of these countries, when they do give proper crypto regulation, if they only allow certain cryptocurrencies, and XRP happens to be one of them, because they're in every country, like every single. It's really, really interesting how far they've stretched out to kind of get with all these companies and countries. And on the other side of the news, there's a cryptocurrency exchange in Canada called Coinberry. They have just added XRP along with, they already had Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. So that is the, I guess, XRP news for today. They're in Mexico. They've also been just about every single country. The only country that we haven't heard them being in so far has been Russia. They've also been in China. They've been in Mexico. They've been in Israel. They've been pretty much everywhere, and India. Everywhere that's had a problem with crypto, they've pretty much been there, and they've been talking to the leaders of that country. So just to keep that in mind. Next up, Stellar is actually in the news. So we have people who, I guess you can call them crypto watchers. I think it's kind of a weird name. People have been paying attention to large wallets for a very long time because they kind of, it moves the actual market whenever you do stuff like that. And recently, when the WorldWire thing was announced by IBM a couple days ago, that they're using the Stellar's blockchain and so blah 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 blah. People have been moving around very large amounts of lumens. There's 1 billion lumens that were moved, and apparently someone said that these, where is it? One of the largest transactions actually went to Coinbase, and the richest wallet held a total of 47 billion XLM on August, but the balance has since been reduced. So a lot of people, whenever there's really good news, it's very weird. Whenever there's very good news, people move around huge amounts of coins. No one knows why. I would assume if you're moving it to Coinbase, you're looking to sell, but it could just be like you finally offer lumens, so let me put my lumens here. That's a lot of lumens to have. I feel like you'd have some other custody solution. If you have a billion lumens, I feel like Coinbase is probably the last place you're trying to store your crypto. Anyway, a lot of excitement and hype around lumens right now. I hope that they can continue the momentum, because it would be pretty interesting. A lot of people are, do not my words, a lot of people are saying potentially in the future that lumens could end up hitting $10 per coin. I could definitely see it happening. Not exactly sure when, but people are definitely in this speculation phase because of all the news that we've been getting about all these different cryptocurrencies. Kind of insane. Next up, cryptocurrency exchange known as Binance has unveiled a new platform in Australia that allows users to buy Bitcoin with cash from high street stores. Announcing the news on Tuesday, Binance said the new gateway called Binance Lite Australia is cash to Bitcoin brokerage services accessible through a network of 1,300 plus supported news agents across the country. The platform currently offers the option to buy only Bitcoin using the AUD or the Australian dollar, but the exchange said it plans to support more crypto and fiat options in the future. Once users have carried out an account verification process, they can place an order to buy Bitcoin online, deposit cash at the nearest news agent, and receive crypto in a matter of minutes. This is according to the announcement. Here's the actual announcement from the Binance people of the thing. It says Binance goes down under. I wish they hadn't said that. And here's the actual Binance Lite Australia, the actual website. I was looking for names of exactly which news agents, but I assume for those who live in Australia, have a buddy who lives in Australia. Here's the actual map. I assume it moves around and shows all other places. Anyway, it's kind of cool. They're kind of mimicking exactly what that the company did in France, as far as allowing people to buy it at the local like tobacco shops and stuff like that. I tried doing it. It was very weird. Me and the guy had a long conversation. It was also weird because he also had no idea how to do it. It's something about like buying like a card and then downloading an app and then loading that card onto the app, and then you can send the money from that app to your crypto. It was a very weird thing, but at least we have more options when it comes to buying cryptocurrency. Kind of nice, because it's been very difficult, but now there are literally millions of ways for people to be able to buy cryptocurrency, if you will. To kind of finish things off, this was all over the news. This was all over the place. Everyone was losing their minds for this. A Fortune 500 tech firm known as Avnet, is adopting crypto payments, allowing customers to pay in Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash for the company's software solutions. The company is catering to professionals in the tech industry. They said today's developers are looking for flexibility as they take their products to market, and this announcement provides our customers with more convenient ways to complete their financial transactions. Avnet is working with industry leader BitPay, which processes over $1 billion annually in cryptocurrency payments, to facilitate the new payment option. Here's the actual thing on their website. It has the little thing right here where they show that they are now accepting Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash and some of the stuff that they offer. Right, like I said, this was all over the place. Everyone was talking about this, so I assumed there would be some people out there who thought this would be quite interesting. I mean, to be fair, when people talk about crypto mainstream, or crypto becoming mainstream, or crypto kind of taking over everything, a lot of the discussion for a very long amount of time was that cryptocurrency, or rather Bitcoin, would become the dominant currency almost overnight. Everyone would be forced to use Bitcoin. Everyone had to use Bitcoin. It was the new greatest, most amazing, awesome thing. And even just to see little things like this, I know it doesn't seem as significant, but just to imagine being able to walk out of your home and walk to any of these shops and be able to buy Bitcoin. Crypto has become so, and it's not even just for us, it's like super mainstream. Like, imagine when other people walk into shops and they see that there's a little Bitcoin sign that they're allowed to actually buy Bitcoin. It's all very interesting. Even the other ways that we are able to actually spend cryptocurrencies. This is not the what was the one we had yesterday? It definitely wasn't this one. It was another website, something. It was the largest yeah, it was some small company. It was the largest retailer in Switzerland who announced yesterday that they're also allowing cryptocurrency for payment. So when you talk about crypto integration and crypto becoming mainstream and crypto permeating just about everything, this is pretty much how it works. It's happening, not even slowly, it's happening super rapidly. And I think one day we're gonna completely forget that we even went through all of these phases, that we went through the SEC, that we went through the CFTC, and we went through the, IBM announcing that this was going to happen. Like, it'll just simply be, and this is kind of how the world will actually be, if you kind of want to say it that way. Anyway, I find it interesting because if it's kind of like, why not? I'll tell the story. I learned this when I was a kid. I know people have different variations of it. It's a story of like this king who owned all the rice in his village. He owned everything. And this poor guy came up to him one day and was like, "Can I please have some rice? Can me and my family please have a bucket of rice?" And the king goes, "No, you're completely, that's never going to happen. Get out of here." So the guy goes home hungry, comes back the next day and tells the king, he goes, "Can I have a grain of rice?" And the king goes, "Why do you want a grain of rice?" He goes, "Can I have a grain of rice? And tomorrow, can I please have 2? And then the next day 4, and every day it kind of doubles from that." And the king goes, "Yeah, that's totally fine." So the moral of the story is, without going through all the numbers, is that by the 30th day, like, you can even write this on a piece of paper. It's actually very interesting. It starts out with 1 grain, and then 2 grains, and then 4 grains, and then 8, and then 16, 32. It continues on. By the end of it, it comes out to, I think, several million grains of rice, which was then enough because the king said, okay, for everyone in the village to eat, because he had all the rice. And it's kind of the same exact thing with this. Like, we don't really pay attention to how many grains of rice that we're getting. I know it's kind of stupid to say grains of rice, but this is happening very, very fast. It started out very slow when we had like Overstock announcing that they were going to accept cryptocurrencies in some other places. And now we have stock exchanges around the world who are implementing this into the actual network and framework that they use. And they're going to be using these things as payments. People will be swishing back and forth billions of dollars every single day in this cryptocurrency that's only 10 years old. You have to see the, I guess, the full bucket of rice when you look at it that way. At the moment, prices aren't doing too bad. Bitcoin's still above 4,000. We were at, I think, 40.56 yesterday or something like that. So it's kind of trending up. Apparently, the information right now is from many analysts is that Bitcoin needs to pass by 4,200 in order to be able to start the beginning of what could be a reversal. Bitcoin's still playing games. For me at this point, I always just assume that Bitcoin's going to fall. I don't expect any uptrend, so the fact that we've stayed over 4,000 is a miracle in and of itself. I'm still thinking that Bitcoin is probably going to fall below 4,000. It just kind of is what it is. It's the game that we play at the moment. No coins are doing exceptionally well. Everything's kind of, except for Ontology, okay? That's a new one. And also Tezos. Well, I take back exactly what I just said. All right, everyone. I think that's going to do it for this video. I hope you all enjoy. Not to have like a, I didn't mean to sound down, I have like a down tone today. Just kind of, crypto's crypto. The whole Ethereum thing is just, I'm very interested to see, because a lot of times I think there's so much money behind Ethereum. It's probably a lot easier to keep the coin afloat, especially since everyone and all these other cryptocurrency exchanges, we're adding Binance. I keep saying Binance. We're adding Ethereum as a base pair. So I think that helps to really keep it afloat, because I mean, realistically, EOS's volume is still incredibly high, even compared to like Stellar, even compared to like look at the difference between EOS and Tron, and even like Cardano. Cardano compared to EOS's volume. I think if EOS was added to more crypto exchanges as a base pair, I have a feeling it would probably be past XRP, or maybe even be the number 2 coin right now. I mean, we'll see. It's just Ethereum has a long way to go, and they're not gonna, unless they decide to pull one out of left field and upgrade this year, which is not going to happen. Like, they're not going to have all 3 implementations in 1 year. So I'm giving it a good 2.5 years, which is kind of sad, but kind of is what it is. Anyway, all right, everyone. That is definitely going to do it for this video. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are. Yeah, wherever you might be. Thank you all once again for watching and listening. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. They are ShaolinFriedRice.com, RF Dusty, Crypnotic, Minting Coins, Setsuna, Nicholas, One Earth, One Peace, One Love, Jeffrey Dam, Paxis, Carl Birchenoff, Cody, Jeffrey Ramsey, Richie Rich III, Amy Starsheen, Jeremy Fox, Jared Schneider, Jim Gardner, Crypto Joe, Joey Carafa, Wise Night Owl, Singer-Songwriter, Mike Savitz, Nick Kanaya, Anthony Charles, Yasha Harari, Travis Haynes, Nick Mangelavori, Professor Wally from Gunbout University, Arthur Yaku, L. Doug, Brady Niels, Rai, Gilboa Snake, and Vlad the Impaler. Thank you all very, very much for your generosity. And yeah, I'll talk to you all soon. See you.